will, with this hook in their mouth, be brought against Israel to strike Israel. Why? Not just to annihilate Israel, but to take a spoil from Israel. Now, what's a spoil? That's a King James word, not something we really use much anymore in our day and age, in our English language, as much as it has deteriorated, by the way. Have you noticed? The English language has been reduced to, well, like, you know, like, and like, and like. I'm thinking, can you just commit? Can you just say it's not like it is? It's not like this, it is this. Anyway, that's my problem, and I'll deal with it later. But I mean, really, truly, our English language has really deteriorated and crumbled to nothing. Be that as it may, this word spoil means that they're going to come and take something from Israel that Israel has and has plenty of. Can I suggest to you, as one has suggested, that all you have to do is take the SP off of spoil and you get oil. See, listen, you control the natural gas flow, you control the oil flow, you control the world. And this could very well be the hook in the mouth of this alliance of nations. So I believe we're seeing this prophecy being fulfilled right before our very eyes. Now, we're going to get into something really interesting here, and something that I want to present to you and really just ask you to consider it, okay? Because it's going to require a little bit of understanding as it relates to a seemingly obscure prophecy found in Genesis chapter 12, verses 2 and 3. Now, here's the news headline. U.S. will no longer automatically support Israel in the United Nations. Now, this news headline broke on Fox News on April the 19th, which just so happened to be, according to the Jewish calendar, the anniversary of the Declaration of Independence when Israel returned as a nation on May 14th, 1948. Well, why was it on April 19th and not May 14th? Because the Jewish calendar is different than our calendar. And every year it's on a different day. Even as in our study of the feasts, we saw how that the feasts are celebrated on a certain day, but it's on a different day every year. It's not the same day like we have the 4th of July, it's every 4th of July. Well, in Israel, and according to the Jewish calendar, their celebrations fall on a different day of the year. Same celebration, different day. Well, this was their celebration of their anniversary, of their returning to the land that God gave them. And just so happens that on that very day, April 19th, we declared, this administration declared, that we, for the first time in history, would not support the nation Israel in the United Nations automatically. Well, what's the prophecy in Genesis 12? God says that to Abraham that any nation, he would make Abraham a great nation, and any nation that would bless Israel, he would bless. I believe that we are living in the residual blessing, what's left over, if I can say it that way, of the blessing of God on the United States of America, because heretofore we have blessed Israel. And in return, God, true to his word, has blessed America. Now, there's a second side to this prophecy found in Genesis 12, 2 and 3, and that leads us to our next headline that broke the very next day. April 20th, Deepwater Horizon oil rig explodes. Now, I know there are skeptics who would say, well, that's just a coincidence. Fine. You are entitled to your opinion, okay? And you're also entitled to be wrong in your opinion. Now, I want to be careful to say that at best, the timing of this is suspect. And I think it defies coincidence. Because if you look back in history, every time the United States of America has taken a posture against Israel, we have suffered unspeakable catastrophe. And the likes of which we've, I believe, yet to see, and even now see, as it relates to this oil spill now, which going on 2 months is still not contained. And then you've got this tropical storm, which if it takes a right, could find itself right there in the Gulf, and it would shut down the efforts for at least 2 weeks. And 1 million gallons of oil will be put into the waters of the Gulf area. Interesting, I saw on Fox News this morning that in the Gulf area, they have committed today to be a day of prayer. And on the heels of that, the storm headed right for them took a left turn away from them. I believe that was and is the power of prayer. When God's people pray, God hears. Now, the other side of this prophecy is simply that if a nation curses Israel, removes her support from Israel, then God will remove his blessing from that nation that removes her blessing from Israel, and even would bring a curse upon that nation. Could this be a fulfillment of that prophecy? I'm going to suggest to you that yes, indeed it is. I happen to be of the school that believes that there is a connection between what has happened to us here in the United States of America as it relates to our support of the nation Israel. Well, why is it that we do this every Sunday? Why is it that we are so into Bible prophecy? Well, we want to know more than other Christians so we can show off how much we know. That's why, right? I hope not. Took you a while. I'll get back to some of you on that. You're going, oh, I didn't know that. I don't do that. Do I? Well, if you do, that's something maybe you need to take to the Lord. But that's not why, because that's pride and that's sin. The reason why is because we want to be readied and steadied so that when that trumpet sounds and the Lord comes for us and raptures us, his church, his bride, we don't want it to be for us as a thief in the night. And that's why we study Bible prophecy and have for the last over 4 years now. Jesus said, Luke 21:28, when these things begin to take place, stand up and lift up your heads because your redemption is drawing near. Throughout the scriptures, you'll hear Jesus say, we need to be watching, and we need to be watching because we need to be ready. In Matthew 24:44, he says, therefore, you also be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. Can I ask you here this morning, are you ready? If the Lord were to return today, are you ready? If you're not ready, you need to get ready. Because the Lord's return will come at a time, at an hour, when we do not expect it to come. It will be as a thief in the night who's not expected to come. Now, for those of us who have been walking with the Lord for a number of years and are right with the Lord and ready for the Lord, I want to ask you this question. Are you as ready for the Lord's return as if it would be today as you would be if it's not another 10 years from now? Now, I don't happen to believe there's 10 years left. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong because I really want to go home. And I know so do you too. But be that as it may, we need to occupy till he comes. We need to not only be ready, but we need to let others know that they need to be ready as well. So I pray that in our study of, in our looking at Bible prophecy, that it would do that needed work in your heart to ready you and steady you for the Lord's return, which is drawing nigh.